Good day, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we are here from Naked and Famous Denim to bring you the greatest people on earth, the greatest live stream on earth, the Naked and Famous Denim live stream, the greatest live stream in the entire history of the internet, where we will discuss all things raw denim related, only raw denim related, perhaps some regular denim related, but definitely no ranting and definitely nothing else, because that's what you guys came here to see. Isn't that right?
I think that's right.
All right, so welcome everybody. It is Saturday morning for us. What is it? It is December 30th, 2023. We're almost wrapping up the year here. It's good to see you. It's the last live stream of the year. Hopefully, you guys have been having a good holiday season so far, and I hope that Santa brought you all the little gifts and goodies that you wanted. And maybe we'll talk about some other things that you may have received, raw denim related only, of course, over the holidays. Now let's check in where you guys are checking in from, because we're checking in from Yokohama, Japan. It's morning time here, evening for many of you. BD is in the house. Hello and happy holidays from the foggy Niagara region. Famously, the region of which Jim and Pam from The Office got married. That's basically put that whole region on the map.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jim and Pam Halpert from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
They got married on the boat.
Yep, the Maid of the Mist. The Maid of the Mist. Simba, hello from California. What put California on the map?
Gold Rush.
Gold Rush. Shout outs to the Gold Rush for making California the great state that it is today. Shutter Buttersworth, hello, feeling a bit sticky in Vancouver, but still wearing my Naked and Famous Denim work shirt.
Sticky, huh?
Sticky.
All right.
Well, hopefully.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good thing. And shout outs to Vancouver. I don't know if you're on the map yet.
Vancouver?
Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there. MIJ Phase, New Jersey in the house. Happy New Year, Denim Heads. And of course, we have to thank the good folks, Ronnie, The Situation,
and what's her name?
I don't remember. Snooki.
Snooki.
For putting New Jersey out there into the world and sharing the beautiful culture that New Jersey has to offer to everyone. Shout outs to the great folks from the Jersey Shore. Oliver Anderson, hello from Australia. And Crocodile Dundee. That's it. I love how we're putting this all together, everybody. It's such a great community. We've got. Sorry, I'm just being a little silly this morning. If you haven't noticed, I don't know, something got into me. Nicholas Villeplu, good morning and happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. We're getting there. You know, a friend of mine came by last night and he mentioned that it is perfectly possible to fly from perhaps this side of the world, New Zealand, Japan, Australia, maybe not Australia, not exactly sure.
New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah, I guess that's the same general area. So you can celebrate the New Year, hop on a flight, get to Hawaii, celebrate the New Year all over again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really, know about this, but he mentioned that there is such flight as New Zealand to Hawaii during this time, because it's not only the time wise, you still have to have the flight at certain time, and what are the chances,
right?
But apparently that's purposefully done, and I was wondering if New Zealand could do it, maybe Japan could also do it.
So I would like to one day do a double New Year celebration, celebrate New Year's at the airport, hop on that airplane, land in Hawaii, New Year's all over again. What do you say, guys? Does that sound like
Has anybody done that?
Yeah, who's ever done it? Let's know. Tova Cobra, greetings from California. I'm rocking my Jotaros today.
To be fair, sorry, to keep on this
No,
comment,
keep it on.
If you live in the United States or somewhere where like there's an hour difference, like right across the border or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
then you can celebrate New Year's, hop on a car, and drive to across the time change line, and then you.
I wonder if there's any parties right on the line.
Yeah.
Where it's like Happy New Year. Okay, everybody cross this line.
Or if there's any like
4
very
states.
narrow like time zone area where you could technically just go from one to one to one within like the 2 hours. I don't think that's actually
that
possible.
would be awesome.
But that would be awesome.
Just keep celebrating
At
the
least
New
you
Year.
can do two New Years that way, I think.
Right. All right. Where is the place in the world where you can celebrate the most consecutive New Years? All right, everybody. What's up, guys? Ian M. Checking in from snowy North Carolina mountains, rocking my Elephant 12s. I hope those are keeping you nice and warm out there. Lusty writes, how was your guys' Christmas? Wore my 15th anniversary with a sweater on Christmas Eve. That is a great combination. The red and white, very candy cane, like
Very
denim there.
Christmassy.
Very Christmassy. We had a good Christmas. We spent it with the family out here. Just a nice little quiet evening at home. We had some chicken and some pizza. There was a little bit of everything. Seafood. It was a good time.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Non-alcoholic sparkling wine.
Incredible. I'm a big fan. Although, is it? Sparkling wine was fine. Grape juice is superior, and then there was a champagne. Apple juice is also superior.
Than sparkling
Champagne. Yeah. Yes.
To be fair, I don't think
The
it's
non-alcoholics. All
sparkling
yeah.
wine. I don't think it was from the Champagne region, and I wonder
Or-
if Champagne manufacturers make non-alcoholic champagnes.
Good question. So if anybody out there in the Champagne region is watching right now, let us know. Mind you, I don't drink alcohol. I don't consume, so I don't drink a lot of alcoholic beverages in general.
Right. It's not like you're quitting or like driving.
Right.
You have never enjoyed alcoholic drinks, therefore you don't need to imitate the taste.
Correct. Yeah, so I just find them to be not less delicious versions of other just, grape juice. Grape juice is great on its own. If you guys have ever tried it before, if you guys have never tried grape juice before, highly recommended. Both the purple and the
red and white.
Yeah, the purple and the white variety. It's purple. The grape juice is purple. Okay, some random guy says, greeting from Brentwood, California. Welcome. And we've got RLK Zap, a visiting family here in Scotland. Welcome.
Nice.
We went to Scotland once. It was a very, very nice time. Bonjour from Saint Leonard, Quebec. Adam Vu, welcome here. Bienvenue, mon ami. Greetings from Mexico and a happy new year, Raphael MC. Welcome, my friend. Helios, hi from the Netherlands, wearing my big slub tonight and waiting for my Elephant 12s to come back from alterations. Can't wait. Well, Helios, good to have you here. Rice W5, a familiar face. Hello from Birmingham, UK. Jen Yipso, greetings from the New York City Shank Style. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Just received my 15th anniversary jeans. How is it so rigid for 15 ounce? Should have sized up, except they sold out quickly.
Yeah, the rigidness. I mean, 15's pretty up there.
15's pretty up there.
Yeah.
15 is the point where you're like, okay.
This is starting to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is really different. 15 is where you really start to see raw denim feel different.
Yeah.
You're getting into the heavier weight land.
But it is amazing how like same weight can feel very, very differently, even if they're equally raw. Like some fabric is tighter woven, had more starch maybe. It just different feels.
Yeah. Tofu Cobra writes regarding our Christmas dinner, was it chicken from KFC?
No,
it was not.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I did not book it in time.
I don't. We did it once in Canada where we ordered KFC on Christmas.
In Montreal,
yeah, in Montreal. But never since then have we done that. No, it was a real from a restaurant. Roasted chicken. Yeah, it wasn't rotisserie. It was roasted. Okay. Cheddar's Buttersworth writes, I don't drink anymore, but I like non-alcoholic beer now and again.
I have to say, beer is the successful one of non-alcoholic kind, where they actually imitated the taste of beer. Whereas I feel like the wine that we got, I tried it. It did not taste like wine, and I've had like non-alcoholic gin, things like that.
Yeah.
They just don't taste like alcohol.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely its own. I'm presuming it's definitely its own thing. I once tried non-alcoholic beer, and it was not great.
Yeah, because for somebody who never drank beer, beer is not great.
Yeah, Brandon bought it. We were going on a bullet train somewhere. We were in Japan. It's me, you, and Brandon, and
That was the start of the non-alcoholic, like market growing in Japan. I think so. It was everywhere, and yeah, you tried it and
didn't like it. He's like, "Hey, I got you a drink," because we were waiting on the train on the platform, and Brandon's like, "I'm gonna go get us some snacks." So he goes, comes back, and he's like, "Here you go," and I'm like, "Oh, like, I just don't want this. It doesn't look appetizing," and then it wasn't.
Yeah. To be fair, I think everybody who drinks, like, their first experience with beer probably was like, oh my god, this is so delicious.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's an acquired taste.
That's what they told us in the DARE program.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember specifically that they told us that beer was an acquired taste and that you weren't gonna like it. They were also telling us not to drink it, like just stay clear.
But acquired taste sounds like something you wanna you aspire to enjoy.
Right.
You know?
I just remember, it was all about avoid all this stuff because you're gonna go down a path of doom and gloom and destruction. And then the guy was like, "Yeah, you're not even gonna like beer on your first try." And I'm like, "Well, how would I? I'm not even gonna try it, Mr. Police Officer. This is you've already told me what's gonna happen if I even take one sip. It's all over." So, what can I say? Galactic Moonshine writes, "Are grilled cheese sandwiches a thing in Japan?"
It's not a thing. I wouldn't.
You can get them at Denny's.
Can you?
Yeah, I've had a grilled cheese at Denny's before. Okay. Denny's Japan is also very different than Denny's America. It's a family restaurant, but very different than Denny's America. Like the all day breakfast, you might be able to get pancakes all day. I'm not even sure, but it's not the same. It's not the same. You get a lot of different meals.
Yeah, majority of meal is just regular meal, like meat with potatoes or like spaghetti or curry.
Yeah, they have curry, Thai curry.
Everything. Yeah, they have everything.
You got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Shang Sao writes, "Speaking of alcohol, you guys should do a red core denim with a wine dyed weft." We did a wine dyed before.
Wine dyed weft, yeah.
Yeah. I can see us doing something like that again. We are bringing back the matcha, so with the matcha dye, so I can see us going back to the wine dyed well at one point.
But red core with red weft, is it too red?
It might be too red. You want to have a little bit of gradient. Yeah. Anyhow, I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yoon Jazz writes, "I just got Dirty Fade Weird, guys. It's so satisfying and it's perfect for me. So I bought one more Naked Famous Deep Indigo Denim. Just can't wait to put it on." Yeah, the Deep Indigo and the Dirty Fade. Just FYIs. The Deep Indigo Selvedge, whatever's left, is basically what's going to be left. That is a model that is slowly discontinuing.
Deep Indigo Rigid?
Deep Indigo Rigid. Yeah, not the Deep Indigo Stretch, but the Deep Indigo Rigid. That is a style that we're phasing out. It was just kind of, we have got the Dirty Fade, we've got the Left Hand Twill, we have the Natural Indigo Selvedge. Of that, kind of classic indigo line-up, the Deep Indigo Selvedge just doesn't have the performance that those guys do. And so it was just another thing, where if we're going to keep it running as a core item, it just has to be able to do the volume that is required of it for it to be an always in stock kind of thing. And, if it's not, then it just kind of takes up room on our shelves that we need for other things.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair, though, that was the heaviest of all core denim. So,
and it was of early Naked and Famous denim. That was that was the go-to for everybody. That was a very, very, very popular model. And it's actually gone from being a core to not a core to back to being a core to not being a core. So I'm not saying it's going to be gone forever, but we'll see.
I think we need to change the name also because Deep Indigo Rigid, Deep Indigo Stretch, it's kind of confusing. People call it Deep Indigo.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, some of the core names are very literal.
yeah. And it's very like, like we need to come up, like Dirty Fade is a forever good name.
Yeah.
We need something like that for each one of the cores.
Yeah.
Most of the cores just are very descriptive.
Right. Raphael MC writes, my first beer was delicious.
Oh,
all right.
Really?
Rice 75, I used to be a massive drinker years ago. Bad times. All right. The Raven,
very good times.
Yeah. I only enjoy very few beers while thinking it tasted great. Well, there you go. Look, there's I'm not trying to put anyone to shame or anything. You guys do what you do. I enjoy how you like to enjoy. Just in case it's coming off as me trying to be on a high horse or something. I am not. I'm a low horse kind of guy. There's a great craft non-alcoholic beer brand in Canada called Harman's. All right. Maybe I'll check that out. But one thing I do like in Canada is that there is an abundance of non-alcoholic gin, and I like those. Those are kind of nice. They taste like perfumed water. Yeah, they're kind of neat. Okay. BD writes, do you have any styling advice for the kimono shirts? Maybe the Tate crew can show their way to style. That's a good idea. For me, kimono shirts are basically something you're gonna wear on top of it. I've worn it on top of hoodies. I've worn it on top of t-shirts. It is just like a light layering piece. Sometimes I wear it in between. You might have a t-shirt on, you wear the kimono shirt, and then you wear something on top of it as well. Like a longer jacket usually. I wouldn't wear a shorter jacket with that one. I would wear a longer jacket with that, or at least to the same length. Or it's just something that you're going to wear in the summertime on top of like a t-shirt.
But yeah, the hoodie look is also nice. Like, if you feel weird not having a, collar.
Yeah. I've done it with the hoodie. You have to make sure that it's sized a little bit extra big so that you can get your a thick, heavy sweatshirt underneath there. But yeah, I'll ask the guys to take their spin and see what we can do in terms of showing off different ways to style and wear the kimono shirt. Chin Yip So writes, any plans to make an Emperor of Slub 2 since you guys make a King of Slub 2? Not in the works, but I wouldn't rule it out. That's a good question. I wouldn't rule it out. That's
It sounds like something that we would do.
Yeah. Yes. Asked, I'm sure I'm saying that correctly. I want the True Guy. Any heavier weight options coming out in the foreseeable future? Happy New Year's. Heavier weight options in the True Guy. We did the Elefanto. Do we still have any of that in stock? I'm not sure.
I think we sold out. Yeah, but we are getting another run of.
Yeah.
I guess elephant in the fall.
Oh right, and then there's the Okayama Spirit, also coming. So the MIJ 10. Hold on, let me see what we have available in the truest.
MIJ 13 will come before MIJ 10.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. MIJ 13 will be available in True Guy and also in Heritage Denim Jacket in the New Year's.
Right.
Probably January, towards the end of January.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the True Guy collection and see what we have in a significantly heavier weight form. We've got 13.75, we've got 14.5 in the Dirty Fade. I think that's 12.5 in the Natural Indigo, 13 Solid Black. We had the Elephant S. That was 21. Hard and Soft, which is sold out 15. Now. That was like 15, right? What do we got? King of Slub, that was 23 ounce. Mm-hmm. Elephant 12, that was 20 ounce, so you missed out on that one. You got to jump on these. Jotaro, that was 20 ounces. What else do we have here? and significantly heavier weight. That might be it for the time being, but I'm sure we're gonna have some more. I know there'll be the newer red core elephant coming.
Yeah, this fall.
Right.
Or next fall. Mm-hmm. So that would be the heaviest by far.
Yeah. So we've had a bunch. You may have missed them, but just keep an eye out for announcements. Okay. Okay, Roger Yorl. Hi, I was able to get a Weird Guy JoJo collab pair of jeans as my first ever raw denim jean. I took my true size. Will these shrink at all? Hoping for a restock. They will not be restocked. As for them shrinking, all garments, all clothes shrink. Everything.
Especially 100% cotton ones.
So that is to say that they will shrink a little bit, and it depends on how you care for them. So any garment you throw in the wash, in the washer and the dryer, is going to come out a little bit smaller. Jeans are no exception to that. So when you get them out of the wash, they're going to feel a little tight. You're going to wear them, they're going to stretch out a little bit more. Some people are, we get the question, maybe this is not even a question that you have yet because you don't know about it, but I'm presuming, I don't know, I'm just saying. Oftentimes we get the question, are these unsanforized? And 99.9% of the time, when a person asks me if the jeans are unsanforized, it is the absolute indicator that they are still very new to the raw denim world, and they don't know very much about raw denim yet. They picked up on this word, unsanforized, they heard about it, and because they don't see whether or not something is sanforized or unsanforized, they want to know. They want to ask that question. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's one of those things where, you have a little bit of information and...
But
anyhow,
to be fair, like whether it is unsanforized or not is a very important piece of information. It's just that majority. If you have to ask, then it is sanforized.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about shrinkage. We make sure that if you're buying, or any brand does, that if you're buying unsanforized raw denim, then they'll make sure because otherwise that's a disaster. You're gonna wash it and it shrinks like 2 sizes, and we're like, oh, what did I do?
Right. Yeah, so for those people who don't know, sanforized versus unsanforized, an unsanforized denim is a denim that has not gone through any type of shrinking process. So when fabric comes off of the loom, it is unsanforized. It is loom state. And the way fabric works is because there are still gaps and spaces between the threads. When you wash it, it shrinks up. The fibers expand a little bit, and so the fabric will shrink. And the problem when you use a loom state denim is that when you make a garment out of it, it shrinks up 10-15%. What happened was, in the 1930s, they developed this technology that you could pre-shrink the fabric. It's kind of like a giant washing machine. I wouldn't call it a washing machine. Basically, the fabric goes through hot water, and then it goes through these hot rollers that they're super hot, and they compress the liquid out, and they compress the liquid out, and they heat it up so that the fabric dries practically instantly, and this basically gets all that shrink out of the fabric. And by getting it out of the fabric, it just shrinks the fabric. So it shrinks it in advance of cutting and sewing. And 99.999% of the world's denim and most fabrics you're going to wear go through a pre-shrinking process like this. Now, the downside of sanforizing your denim is that it takes away a little bit of that texture and character, because these hot rollers compress the fabric. If you look at one of our slubby denim options that have been sanforized, like the 18-ounce big slub or something, if you look really close at the fabric, you'll notice that the slub texture, even though it's raised, it has this flat top to it. Mm-hmm. And that's because the rollers compressed that fabric down. If you look at one of our tempe-treated unsanforized fabrics, so these are unsanforized fabrics that we cut and sew and calculate the shrink rate, and then we shrink the garment so that you don't have to shrink it at home and you don't have to worry about, guessing what size you need based off of the shrink rate. Okay? So when you look at that fabric, you'll notice that the raised bumps, those 3D textured slubs, are a lot rounder on top. And anyways, you'll once you've handled enough fabrics, you'll be able to tell the difference. So some people ask if something's going to shrink, not even considering sanforization, unsanforization. All garments shrink because that's just what happens when you wash a garment.
Oh,
they are going to stretch out a cotton garment. Yeah,
don't really shrink.
Sure. So a cotton garment, it's going to shrink a little bit, but it's also going to stretch back out. Unsanforized garments, which are very, very, very few and far between, are going to be labeled as unsanforized. They will everywhere they can tell you this garment is going to shrink, and there's going to be some kind of instruction on how to buy this product. And that's an advanced product, right? But if you follow our guides, you listen to us, you're gonna know how to buy one of those. Sometimes we do an unsanforized release, like the King of Slub. That was an unsanforized denim. We put on the pre-soak measurements and we put up the post-soak measurements. So when we do post-soak, it's not even a soak, it's actually a wash. What we do is we take the garment, we wash it hot, we dry it hot. We get as much shrinkage out of it as humanly possible to give you this is the final form. This is what you can essentially expect the garment to do when you're laundering at home. Of course, your washing machine, your dryer are going to vary. Everybody's situation might be slightly different, and that's the thing about unsanforized denim is that it ain't a science. It's there's little gaps and errors and differences here and there that are going to be unique to your pair from another pair. They're not always going to shrink exactly the same, but they're generally in that ballpark when we give you those post-wash measurements. And for some people, they're never going to wash those jeans, so they buy them. They buy them according to the pre-soak or the pre-wash. And some people are like, well, I'm going to wash these as soon as I get them to get that shrink out, and so I'm going to buy them according to the post-wash measurements. So they're both there for you. And then we do Tempe treatment, which is an unsanforized denim that we rinse wash the garment. So that shrinkage rate is out of the fabric for the most part. You might still see a little bit of a shrinkage after a wash, but that shrinkage should you should get it back with wear. So a couple of different ways to approach how a garment is going to, or a fabric even, is going to shrink, but the long and short of it is everything shrinks a little bit.
Yeah. And we're not going to be able to tell you, in the waist, they will shrink 1 inch or whatever. There is no way that we're going to be able to predict that.
Yeah. Okay. Helios writes, thoughts on pre-soaking Naked Famous sanforized pairs before wear to get rid of the starch chemicals from the sanforization process. Helios, what are my thoughts? My thoughts are, if you do not like that crunchy feeling of a crisp raw pair of jeans, then go ahead and wash them. Get that starch out of there.
Yeah.
You can enjoy your jeans comfortably. You don't have to worry about breaking them in. Get that starch out. There's no problem. You do you. I don't see any problem with pre-washing or pre-soaking your jeans before you wear them. I don't see any problems with wearing them raw and rigid. There's pros and cons to each way. Raw and rigid, one thing that annoyed me the most, they're slippery.
Yeah, I'm wearing raw right now, and it is slippery. Yeah. When I cross my legs, it's just it takes me just a little bit more force to put it down than
Yeah, and when we were in Montreal, we used to ride the Metro a lot, and the Metro seats were plastic.
Yeah.
Right? They
really
they didn't have the fabric on top. Sometimes they have that felt or whatever kind of material on them. But in Montreal, it's just plastic.
Plastic and very round.
Yeah. So you're just slipping and sliding all over the place. It just feels a little dangerous, but... So those are the things I don't like about rigid denim, but the thing I do like about rigid denim is the heftiness, and I like the sharpness that the creases form when you've got a rigid denim.
And I also think that it's you know how like people say like, oh, you can go like a long time until the first wash, and you know how gross it gets, and it does get gross. But to be fair, I think when it's a very flat, you know, starched up texture, it doesn't pick up as much dirt either. So like you can actually go a long time without, like I had like a bunch of dust and dirt on my jeans, but like it was like day 3 for me, so I was like, I didn't really want to like wash it yet, and I just kind of wiped it down, and it's like, oh, this is actually like
it's gone.
Acceptable.
Risa and I were both doing some yard work, and I'm wearing my dirty fades, which I've washed many times at this point. I started off, you know, when I wore them, I started off washing them I think 2 or 3 days in, and they've probably seen the wash, you know, probably a dozen times by now in the last, I don't remember when I started wearing these, but I think around the summertime. So it might be half a year by now. But yeah, they're seeing the wash anytime I feel like it, anytime they need it. There's no wrong way. One thing I do appreciate, like, because right now you can see here, maybe you're not going to get the best glimpse of it because they look dark in this light, but I feel like I'm getting that, like, that dad jean blue coming along here, because they were certainly a lot darker, more in tone with, you know, Risa's wearing a left-hand twill right now. But
it's Dirty Fade starts off a little bit more blue than the left hand 12, but still, it's a very big difference.
They're coming along nicely, and I'm gonna continue to wash these regularly until I get them to be nice and light and blue and as faded as possible. You know, I don't need like the high contrast whiskering, but you're gonna get whiskering no matter what, right?
Yeah.
You know, so here's to my raw denim journey. This year, but washing, handle it more. Handle it however way you want. You and Jazz, right? Maybe washing more. So I got confused. Anyways, hopefully that was a good answer for you. What do we got here? Roger Yoel, thanks for answering my question. I'm learning a lot about denim. Well, you tuned in to the right live stream, the greatest live stream in the history of the entire internet. And you know what we should do right now? You know what to do.
Please like this video. We have not many likes as of now, so please like it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Thank you very much. If you guys can just do that it just takes a little tap of the mouse or your finger, however way you're watching this. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know, my beautiful wife here asked you kindly, so please hit that like button and make our day.
The likes went up.
There we go. Done.
Thank
you. See? You guys are so nice. Also, this is my wife, for those people who have not realized that yet. Every now and then people are like, you guys are a couple? I'm like, yes, we are.
It's kind of funny because like we assume everybody knows, but I mean, I guess not. We don't like hold hands during live stream and stuff.
I think we should do that more often.
The Michael and Holly.
Yeah, just let's just make it really uncomfortable for people. And we'll just do this for the continuation of the live stream. Okay, you're already done.
Well,
okay.
I mean, it's very uncomfortable.
Well, maybe for them. Post Laco, I was actually wondering how much a pair of your Sanforized jeans would shrink if I gave them a hot wash and stuck them in the dryer. Not much. I mean, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, maybe maximum shrinkage, and then you will.
Sanforized?
No, Sanforized, and then they'll stretch most of the way back out.
Yeah. So unsanforized fabric shrinkage rate is about 10%. Sanforized denim shrinkage rate is usually within 3%. So, you know, whatever 3%. Like in the length, you notice a lot more because it's longer, and then it will be like a little bit shorter. But like, it's not gonna be like inch in the waist or anything.
Yeah. Okay, some people are asking about our shirts. This is the lightweight chambray, rinsed denim.
This is denim. This one is slub nip.
Right.
Rinsed denim.
I think I always call it a chambray. I think we called it chambray.
I think we called it a chambray, but this one is it might be hard to see, but it has very nice nippy texture on the outside, well, inside too, because it's nep. But it has a very nice character, and it's rinse washed fabric, so it is a little softer and more plump.
It's the short slub denim. I think we have them. Hold on, I gotta find them on the website here, and I can give you guys a little tour of that. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know where things are on our website. Let's go easy shirt. There we go. And then I think they're here. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, we called it a chambray. So that's the 4.5 ounce. Hey, Helios subscribed to the channel. Good for you. You made the right choice today. So here's the 4.5 ounce chambray. I think we only have mediums in stock, but this will be a recurring product. So we will have these restocked at some point. This is just an essential item for any person to own. And then we have that shirt here. Not here. Maybe it's sold out. That's probably why. Anyhow, that's the slub nep rinsed denim shirt.
Yeah, and we make this in kimono shirt and work shirt, which we now call overshirt.
Yeah. Overshirt, yeah, so maybe the easy shirt version is sold out at the moment, but we do have the overshirt and we do have the kimono shirt of that model available presently on the internet on tateandyoko.com, pronounced Tate and Yoko. Okay. Mike Knight writes, I have 2 kimono shirts. I always get compliments on the PK one.
That one was cute.
The kimono shirts are always going to get you compliments, I find. Because you just don't see them a lot out there. And I think it automatically makes your outfit, a lot more interesting in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got one, I'm sure you're getting lots of compliments, and I hope you're enjoying them. I've had quite a lot of them. What we don't do too much anymore is like flannel ones. And at one point, I was really big into making flannel kimono shirts. Mm-hmm. Maybe we got to do some more of those again.
Yeah. I like that. It's we had that red one.
Yeah.
With yellow, like a raised
stitching.
Yeah,
right.
That was great.
The Raven, do you guys have any plans on restocking the Schott Dark Oxford Grey Peacoat? I would love to buy one if there was one stock in 36. I don't know offhand. I know we just got a restock of Schott in. They're not on the website yet. They just have to process all of that. I'm not sure if peacoats are in that shipment or not, but it is something that we will continue to carry. We probably won't restock in the spring, but if we don't get them in this restock, it'll probably be restocked next fall. Okay. Okay. Abel Martinez writes, I hot wash and dry my green cast about every 2 weeks. I definitely noticed shrinkage in the length, but the waist stretches right back out every time. Yeah, the waist stretches out every time because you wear them and then you're putting some, tension on that. Usually with the length, you don't put as much tension on it, so you feel like it's a permanent shrink. But in fact, if you pull on the fabric, you will get it back.
Yeah. Then between wash and dry, like before you put them out to dry, give it a little tug and it will shrink. It will stretch right back out.
Yeah. Lancers 86, seeing Naked Famous on Amazon, they list sizes as the waist size, but we should assume it's tag size. Would always want to buy direct from your site, but I got an Amazon gift card. Always a great live chat. Yes, if you're buying on Amazon, assume everything is a tag size. They are not.
They're not measuring them.
They're not measuring them. They are not, a quote unquote denim store. They sell absolutely anything and everything, and we sell to a lot of. Anyhow, you can find some of our products on Amazon. Yeah. That's for sure. But if you ever send them an email to ask a question about our product, they're never going to have any idea. But if you need to check the size chart, just go to Tate and Yoko, check the size chart, and you've got an Amazon gift card or whatnot, you prefer to shop there, no problem. The only thing is that sometimes, and certainly these will get resolved, but every now and then they ship you the wrong item. Mm-hmm. This has kind of been a little bit of a problem with Amazon, and here's
because they're not looking at the products, they're looking at the bag
Yeah.
or whatever the sticker came with. And sometimes people order 2 pairs and
they return them and they don't
in a different bag or
or they don't know how to repackage them. So sometimes they send you the wrong items. So just be careful. I mean, there's not much you can do. You can order what you want. And
at least Amazon's going to take care of that for you.
Yeah. They know that that's a problem that they have, and they've gotcha.
And one way to show them that this is the wrong pair is the tag. Inside tag would have the name or the style number, and it's like, this is not what I ordered, and then they're gonna take care of you.
Yeah. Handy the Handle writes, what are your thoughts on Amazon changing prices based on popularity of tag size?
Yeah.
I think it's a little silly. But to be fair, Amazon does a lot more business than we do, so sometimes I figure they might know what they're doing.
Yeah, and we can't tell them how to run their business because that's their business. Unfortunately, we don't have the right to be like, you can't sell this at this price.
The Amazon algorithm works in such a way that if something isn't turning over, as in that means like it's not selling at a particular rate, that their system just says mark it down a little, and that is going to entice some people. And then when it sells, you'll notice that item goes right back up to the price that is the price. And so if the problem is that sometimes there's odd end sizes, 28s and 42s and 44s. Sometimes they don't turn over as fast as the 32. So those sizes get marked down a little bit, and then it looks like the entire size range is on sale, and then you go to that product, and it's like, oh no, I want a 32, and the 32 is the regular price. And it's annoying. I get it. I'm sure they get calls about it all day long. It's just how they do things. I think it's silly, but yeah, they know what they're doing. Okay. Vitaly, left-hand 12 blanket line jacket is awesome. Well, thank you very much. I got mine. I can't stop wearing it whenever I can. The interior is really quite beautiful. I hope you're showing that off a lot. Any chance for a Sherpa or shearling line one? Maybe an elephant denim lined jacket. It could certainly happen one day. I'd like to do an elephant chore coat. Yeah, I can see Sherpa again. I want to do more blanket lines. More blanket lines.
Blanket lines are nice.
Yeah.
Sherpa it was okay. I like the look of it, but it's hard to like size them sometimes, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the blanket line a lot more.
Right. But yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. It's we have a long history ahead of us. Okay, Cheddar Buttersworth writes, the stuff on Amazon Canada is always suspect. Its catalog is much smaller than Amazon US. Yes. Suspect is, just a side rant. Shopping on Amazon has increasingly become a little bit of a, am I getting, I
have to make sure that it's sold by Amazon, shipped by Amazon.
Right. I'm always checking. I'm like, is this sold by Amazon? Is this shipped by Amazon? Generally, I trust all of those, and I feel bad because I'm sure there's resellers on there that are perfectly good and normal, but
you're not guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just that I'm sure that and I've never been screwed. To be fair, I've never been screwed, but I always am wary of just that because I know that there's some bad boys out there, and I suppose dealing with it, I don't know. Anyways, it's I like Blu-rays because obviously I buy a lot of Blu-rays. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, here's what this is how the third-party sellers get a bad rep. It's like, maybe a Blu-ray has come out and Amazon or you see it and it's $20, $30 or whatever, and then there's some third-party person selling it for way less than everybody else, and you're like, oh great, there's a deal, and then you're like, oh yeah, shipping is $17, and I'm like. See, it's
also ships within 3 weeks.
Yeah,
it's I don't.
Right, it's so somebody might accidentally buy that, and they're just oh.
Yeah.
Or I just don't like the idea of them pulling that oh yeah, it's cheap, and then you click on it so you can look at it, and then you get you get this high shipping rate.
Yeah, that's the old eBay move.
Right. Yeah, definitely an old eBay move. Yeah, these are $2 and shipping is $350,
Yeah.
and it's like, ugh,
No.
yeah, great. Yeah, that was a big thing on eBay, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got duped many times.
Right. But yeah, anyhow, that's if you're feel something is suspect, you just come over to tateandyoko.com. We've got you, and you know what you're getting every time. Okay. Chris Griffin writes, finally checking in with my groovy guy left hand twills, was listening driving home from the beach. Well, fantastic.
Nice.
We were at the beach yesterday morning. We had breakfast at the beach.
McDonald's at the beach.
It was great. We went to another place and they're like, we don't do breakfast on weekdays.
Yeah. And it's
And
like,
we're like,
but it's holiday.
Yeah. They weren't having it.
No.
So the next best option was the McDonald's down the street. So we enjoyed. We sure did. Chris Griffin, Yoon Jazz. I've been wearing my left-hand twill groovy guys for about 8 months now. Like Bahzad, he just showed getting to that dad jean blue. Yeah, if you wash them a lot, you're going to get dad jean blue. And I certainly like dad jean blue these days. Yeah, dark is great, but I want to get light. And I want to do it myself. I don't want to buy a pre-washed light jean. I still want to have fades and creases and things like that are mine. And one thing about these jeans, and they might be hard to see, is that they've had their fair number of marbling kind of fades, like these rando lines. But the more you wash and wear it, the more it all really blends in.
100%.
Yeah.
I have my classic from 11 from 2016. They used to have lines. I don't see them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they're there, but it all just to me it doesn't bother me at all. I think it just adds to the flavor of the jean. So some people get worried with those. Just keep wearing them.
Yeah.
Just keep wearing them. Okay. Jonathan, joining late. Sorry if this has already been covered. Any reaction to New York Times calling the Tragic Blonde logo terrible and sexist in an otherwise glowing review? Any reaction to that? Yeah, there was a Wirecutter.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, so the natural Indigo Selvedge was like raw jean, like that's their pick. So very good, I think.
Very good pick.
Yeah, very good pick. Very good pick for the raw jean to get. They didn't like our logo. That's okay. I mean, what everyone has their right to their opinion, and if they want to call it sexist, I mean,
I would like to know what the sexist part is. What is that it is sexist? What message do you think we're sending?
yeah,
I don't know.
it's our art, even with the 15-year anniversary patch and all that, art is in the eye of the beholder. I get it. Some people see things differently, and they're welcome to feel that way. And the person who made the review, it's fine.
But it's like 15-year anniversary, calling it obscene is not wrong.
Yeah,
Like, I get
right.
it. Whereas like
The regular
sexist is like a term that's like, why did we discriminate women? I don't know.
No, I mean, it's just, I don't want to get into the whole society talk, but I feel like any depiction of, I just feel like there's this more, I really don't want to go too deep into it,
Okay,
but
that's not
all I can say is that it doesn't bother me that someone has that opinion of that, and I can understand how some people can have such an opinion. And even with that in mind, we do have options for you to change the leather patch if you want to have a blank patch or no patch or the beefy manly patch. We've got you covered. Like we're not trying to disparage anybody with our imagery, but I can understand how some people can see a pinup of a woman as that. So I'm not trying to put anyone down, but we appreciate this kind of art, and some people don't appreciate this kind of art the same way we appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
just don't
fair
like
and fine.
the wrong word. Like, New York Times writers should pick the right word to explain
I think
why it was offensive to them.
Right. Right. Anyhow, it's okay. I've met, church mega pastors who wear our jeans and they're like, but I gotta take off the patch. He's like, it's not a good, right? And I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's no problem. Like, if it's, anyhow. It is what it is. We are not trying to be hurtful, and there's people who are like, well, I can't have that in my home, or I don't
don't have it. You can still enjoy the jeans.
Yeah. So there we go. The Toaster Pilot writes, they had to find a flaw on a perfect pair. It's perhaps true. Just to, part of that imagery was kind of to point out the hypocrisy in like the fashion world in general, where that patch will be called out for so many different things, yet you look at like some glamour jean brand, right? And you look at their advertising campaigns, and the women look like they're strung out on heroin, and their pants are, down to, God knows where, which is fine also. I have no problem with that imagery. But my point is that like that imagery is always like, oh, look at this beautiful fashion campaign, right? And they're like, oh, that cartoon is really offensive. I remember it was a mall the store doesn't exist anymore, but it was in West Edmonton Mall, and they had put our denim banner in their window. And the mall staff was like, you have to take that down. And their store was around the corner from a Victoria's Secret where they have all their banners and all these busty, beautiful women, showing their stuff. And it was like, that's okay. A 50-foot, banner of that, fine.
A real human being.
Right. Which I'm okay with. I have no problem with that. That is perfectly acceptable, right? But I don't see how someone at the same time sees that and is like, that's fine, and then goes around and is like, that cartoon, that's problematic. I'm like, the point is that ain't real, that's real. You're pointing that out, but you're not pointing that out. That's where you have to start making some decisions in your mind of like, how do you really perceive this? It's quick and easy to point out the naked cartoon as, oh, that's offensive. I mean, maybe at a surface level, it is, but is it less offensive than all of the stuff that we're bombarded with that just is seemingly normal? No, I don't think it is. But anyhow, that's that. But then again, I mean, I also hate to say this part, but when you throw out those kinds of words willy-nilly, in my opinion, that was a willy-nilly throw out, and maybe if this person is watching this, they're going to take away our top spot. Who knows? I hope you don't. I really appreciate you liking our jeans. But it does weaken that. Because that is a real thing, of course, right? Sexism and all that nasty stuff. It's all real, right? But you can't just Kelly Kapoor it, you know what I mean? Where you're just throwing out these accusations because it's going to get a reaction from somebody, right? Because it just weakens the whole thing, and then nobody will care about the important stuff anymore. So we all have to realize when... Anyhow. This is not the Bahzad tells you all how to live your life live stream, but
I think that was them trying to get ahead of the criticism that they might have gotten from some people. Right. How can you promote this jeans with naked women on the patch? And they foreseen that, and so I gotta cover my,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I always like it when, every now and then I'll get a DM or a message and someone's like, what would the women in your company think? And I'm like, dear, you're a woman, right?
think so.
Yeah.
The last time I checked.
Yeah. Do you have a strong opinion of why this is horrible and you should absolutely be offended by this?
Never really felt that way. But you know, again, I different threshold for everybody. I'm not telling you that this is not offensive to you. I'm telling you that this is not offensive to me.
Right.
And you know,
that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Because there does seem, I'm not accusing this New York Times thing of that, but there sometimes does seem like there is this push that because, you know, maybe in the case of this, you know, a female being offended by this and they're saying, well, as a woman, I'm like, yeah, but you're just speaking for you. You're not speaking for all the women. Like, you know, because sometimes you'll come to this situation where, like, you know, as a woman speaking to me, a man, I feel this way, and so therefore all
My
women
opinion,
is the dominant position. And I'm like, no, I respect your opinion, but it is of your opinion, and you are a female. Sure, as a woman, I feel this, that, and the other thing. Fine, but you also don't speak for all of the women. You speak for you, and I take what you're saying to heart. I take all the criticism to heart, even if I don't think it's particularly, you know, constructive but I have to consider that some people are going to perceive things certain ways, right? So, not that we're trying to craft our art in a way that's going to make it as appealing to, you know, we're not trying to make milk toast, you know what I mean? You know, we still want to be ourselves, but I have to understand that some people are going to perceive things a certain way.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe that might influence our craft a little bit, but we try to stay true to ourselves. And some people like the things that we do. Some people don't like the things that we do. And that's fine. Yeah.
And in 2008, like, we didn't foresee this kind of environment, to be fair. I think that's a little bit part of it. Like, I don't want to say that, like, we're you know, offensive or anything, but, like, if it was like this back then, I feel like it wouldn't have been that. It's just like we're not trying to push buttons either.
Yeah.
We're not like trying to test the
we're not trying to test the limits here.
Yeah. We just thought, like, you know, this was the you know, expression of what our brand philosophy was is, and it's
it was a pushback to Hollywood glamour jeans. That's what Naked and Famous started as. It was, we're going to sell the best quality product, best possible price, and sit right next to all these glamour Hollywood brands. And they use sex and this and that and the, you know, to do all their marketing. And we're going to do it in our way, which is like a tongue-in-cheek version of what they're doing. And I think most people get that. Some people... but you also, it's hard to explain that whole thing every single time.
It's not like there's like a, I don't know. It's kind of like if you get it, then you get it. Yeah. If you don't, at least it's a cartoon. Even if you don't get the like sarcasm or irony in this, you still are not fully offended because it's not a picture.
You know what? One thing I've actually never seen is that at the very start of Naked and Famous Denim, Brandon was trying to figure out, like, how am I gonna convey this, like, we're making fun of glamour, right? And so he did one photo shoot, which I've actually never seen the photos of. And I think it might have been because at one time Brandon's hard drive literally melted. And I think those images and stuff might have been on that computer. But he did a photo shoot with, like, two gross old... I'm going to say gross because they were supposed to be gross. Old naked people. And, we weren't showing anything, but the point was, it was to, like, use this type of, like, you know...
Yeah.
Off from the norm kind of look, you know what I mean? Like, it was supposed to be like, ew, like, that's weird, you know?
Right, but, like, it's funny because it's you know... It's right next to, like, the attractive model,
right.
Like, you know.
But here's this, like, jeans brand. It sounds like one of these Hollywood brands, but why are they using these gross models to, push their product? And the point was that it's about the product, you know, like, you guys are pushing the models, and not the product. We're pushing the product and not the model. So anyways, those photos, those videos never ever came out. But and even I've never seen it. Brandon only told me that he he created it, but he never put it out. Right. So there you have it. What do we got here? Post Lico. Something's going on. I'm really curious about the Over the Rainbow Nice Sky Fit, but they don't have measurements for any of the sizes. You're gonna have to check in with Over the Rainbow because I don't have those in stock to measure for you. So check in with the good people over at Over the Rainbow. They are, in fact, very, very good people. Hopefully, Daniel's watching right now. I remember a couple days ago he sent Risa and I a Christmas message, and I never responded.
Yeah,
I feel bad. It was like one of those things where like we're in the middle of something, and I played this message on my phone. He sent me such a great Christmas message, and I'm like, oh, we got to respond, and then here we are
we will
today.
Respond. He might be busy with the holiday stuff.
That's true. But Daniel, if you're out there and you're listening,
we
love you.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Nice message.
And we love you very much. You're a fantastic person, and more. And like you said to us, it's more than a business relationship. We are certainly friends, and we've been up and down this road together for so many years, right? It's really incredible how many business relationships just foster into friendships, and a guy like Daniel is a guy that I'm sure many people in here just have these. You come across these people in life, and it's just like it's a joy not just to do business with them, but to know these people, and they're so easy and nice to work with that it all just works beautifully, and I absolutely love working with people like this. I'm gonna go into rant time.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. This is Bahzad rant time. This is great because in our industry, there's many stores. We have our own stores, but we also work with retail partners, and not everyone's a nice guy. Not everyone is a pleasant person to deal with. In fact, there's a lot of not pleasant people to deal with, and I'm not going to name names out there or anything like that, but sometimes, and I've been up and down this road so many times that I can smell a bad customer from 1,000 feet away. I know what you look like. I know what you smell like. I know how terrible your business is. I know everything about you from the second you walk up to me and say hello. And sometimes there was a point where like I was very, very picky about like, who's going to be the Naked Famous customer. Then, you're like, well, actually there's a lot more kinds of stores that we could cater to. You open it up a little bit, the distribution here and there. And then that's when you start to learn a lot more about the kinds of people you deal with. And every now and then, like you're so happy that you prove yourself right. I'm trying to tell this story because I don't want to put any specific people down. Sometimes when I do these stories, by the way, it's an amalgamation of many people. Right.
Yeah.
But it's like the people that don't answer your emails, just.
Well, to be fair.
Look, sometimes people are busy. I get it. It might take a day or two or three to get an email response back.
Even if it took a week, like professional people will get back to you, and especially if like you might miss it, you might like read it accidentally when you're not like really trying to read it, and then like it gets pushed down and you never see it again. 2 emails. 3 emails and still not responding, then that's not a professional.
Right, not a professional. And so every now and then you'll get like this request for like, hey, I'd like to carry your brand, blah 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 blah, and then sure, okay, well let's make an appointment, let's talk about it, like let's set up a call, whatever it is, and then no response. And I'm like, okay. And so, but I'm the kind of guy I'll follow up a couple times before I have to give up, because anyhow. So
you give them benefit.
Right, you give them the benefit of the doubt.
More than enough benefit of the doubt.
So that happens, and then 6 or 8 months later, They write you this email. Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm your best friend again. Yeah, I've had all these people walking into my store, and they're all wearing Naked and Famous, and they're all always asking me for Naked and Famous. I'd like to get on board with the brand. And I'm like, really? Isn't that convenient, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that so convenient that now that you see that maybe the store down the street is so successful with this product line that you're all of a sudden so interested in our product line and communicating with me again? And even if, and I've made the mistake of opening that store, but it always bites you in the ass because that's the guy, the first person to put an order through and then not answer that email as soon as that invoice comes in. And you're like, okay, your stuff's ready to ship. Ghost. People have to be, if you want to avoid 90% of the problems you're ever going to encounter in business, just see how responsive somebody is to an email. If they're not responsive, believe me, they are going to be not responsive the entire way, and they're going to not be a great customer.
Yeah.
And I would rather not waste precious inventory on a person who's going to be non-responsive, not really pushing the brand, really just doing their best to leech off of the businesses that other successful businesses have built up in terms of like building the brand's reputation and things like that. Some stores are literally out there to see, oh, there's a successful store, there's a successful store, there's a successful store. Let me just see if I can copy what they're doing. And that doesn't work for very long. Oh, let me go and chase these brands, and I get the brands, and then like, why isn't this stuff selling? Yeah. I'm like, it's more than that. It's more than having the brand in your store. You have to build a community. You have to do all this stuff.
Yeah. And those successful stores, they didn't just chase after already popular brands.
They built the brands.
They built the brands. They are partners to us. And, you know, they will, you know, put together a collection. They might not buy every single items that we offer, but they would try and represent as much as they think they can sell to be the partner to us, rather than like, oh, what is your minimum amount that I can buy? Yeah. I'm just gonna buy the smallest amount possible, and if they sell, I'm gonna try and buy another smallest amount possible. It's just like they're so chasing the crumbs.
Yeah, they're rat-like. I like to call them. They're very rat-like. You know, I remember one of the first lessons I learned about this was early in the Naked and Famous Denim history, where it was first season. Brandon, and when you're a brand new brand, sometimes, you know.
Brand new brand by Brandon?
Yeah, it was a brand new brand by Brandon. And you don't get the benefit of having a history of like, oh, you're popular, you're this and that, right? You're like, if a store is going to take a chance on you, some stores, they see what you're doing, they see the kind of product that you got, and the smart, intelligent stores look at that and they're like, that's a brand that my customers are going to like, I'm going to support you, you're a good maker, great. And then there are the stores that are like, well, oh, you want me to help you, huh? Right? They do one of these, and they're like, well, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. You know, we want to have all the newest stuff, but, you know, we really don't want to pay for that, right? So if you want your stuff in my store, you can put it on consignment, and consignment basically you're lending them the goods, and then if it does well, then maybe we'll carry it. So Brandon was in one of those positions where it was a predominant store, and they wanted to, do us a favor by carrying their products in their store. And we sent them a couple dozen pairs of jeans, and 6 months later, they had practically a complete sell-through, and they sent back 4 pairs of jeans. And they're like, thank you. Yeah, this wasn't for us. And we're like, you sold everything. And you wouldn't restock it when you were selling stuff, because in the denim business, it's impossible for you to carry, unless you've got a giant warehouse, you cannot stock tremendous amounts of inventory, right? A stack of jeans this big is only like 8 or 9 pairs, right? And then you have a bunch of different models. You can't have 50 pairs of the same style in your stockroom. You just don't have you don't have the room for it unless you're Tate and Yoko or Blue Hour. You have to have a big space for that. So at Naked and Famous, what we try to do is we have a big warehouse. We stock everything. We carry lots. We have over like 10, 15,000 pairs of jeans in stock, ready for you to serve our customers. So you can order, a dozen pairs of jeans, and then every week or every 2 weeks, you just replenish, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I've sold this, I've sold that, and you restock it. So you've got this constant flow where you always have the stock. We always have the stock for you. You've always got the stock so that your customers can come in, and you don't have to front load. You don't have to spend all of your budget on inventory in advance, right? So it really helps with the cash flow for businesses and things like that. So when we get a customer who's like selling well, because they are sending us the monthly sales report so that we can send them the invoices for the consignment, and they're not restocking, it's like, what are you doing? You're not trying to support the business. You're just, you're just kind of I wouldn't call it taking advantage, but in this particular situation, you had a great sell through, and you, instead of deciding to order more like everybody else who has had a similar situation to you, you were like, nah, we're good.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, if you want to grow your denim business, if you want to, grow your business, then we're here to help you. Like, we want you to grow the business, denim business in your store. We're not like, we're not being mean about it. We're ready. But if you're not ready, then we can't help you because we can't force it down your throat. And if you're not ready to grow, and if you didn't, have like a great sales because of our brand, like after a while you have to look at the numbers and see, like, was that me who failed at this, or was that the brand who failed? Which is possible, like you could have a good business store that maybe didn't have the right customer or right product selection, that Naked and Famous doesn't work. Like, that happens, but you have to look at it and analyze it and see what the failure was. And they're very quick to blame the product wasn't good enough, or the brand wasn't right for us. It's like, I don't
think you put in the effort that you needed.
Like, you have to put in the effort. You have to put in the work. You have to be patient and build the customer base for that product. It doesn't like just automatically sell. When you have to sell something, you have to market it. You have to, like, that's your job. Because if it was just like, if it's there and sold itself, then we wouldn't need you.
Yeah. Right. So, but just going back to my first story, if you're the kind of store that is like, well, we're gonna give this a little test and see how it goes, and it goes well, and then you don't follow up with more orders, it's like, especially in this consignment situation, I'm like, you weren't interested in testing it anyways. Right. You really just were like, well, I could make some extra money here, maybe, and have no real downside, right? It wasn't there wasn't a good faith, attempt at a relationship here. Mm-hmm. And so later on, in the same circumstance with this store, when all the other stores, I'm going to say it was a Toronto store, when all the other stores in Toronto were popping with Naked and Famous, we were, and we still are, we're still all, we have great spots in Toronto. And then they're like, oh yeah, we should try it again. I'm like, no, we should not try it again. Because what are you going to offer now? What are you going to offer me? Now we have an established brand that you had no part of establishing in this city. And I'm supposed to offer product to you that in the past, you were very quick to be like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Even though it sold well. You're not interested in building us. You're interested in the fact that other people are selling it well, and you just want to leech off of that success.
Yeah. And also the thing is, like, people don't really understand this. Most people do, but like some people don't understand this. It's like the wholesale is they get a big discount on the like actual market value of the jeans, right? Like the consumer has to pay the retail price,
right,
but the retail stores pay the wholesale price, which is much lower than the retail price. And the reason for that is not because they're gonna buy in bulk. Well, not part of it's that they do buy in bulk, but also it helps like us reach more people. Like it's not that like, oh, we want, like we have 10 pairs of jeans and do we want to sell them all 10 at once at much lower price per unit price to somebody, or do we want to sell this to like, you know, at higher margin, higher price 10 times over to each individual people. So like you're taking, like if you're taking that much of a discount, you have to, like, that has to mean something. That has to be a, you know, at least a little bit of a sustaining, you know, recurring things, because otherwise it's like however much you can pay at once, we don't need that money. We don't need $5,000 once.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I'm not interested in that once.
We know that doesn't seem like a good deal to us. No. We prefer that we don't do that. If it was going to be a one-time deal, we prefer not to do it.
Yeah. And I can smell those one-time deals a mile away. And the conversation usually starts with, what's your minimum order?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's not really, you know,
that's not the right word.
Yeah, it's not the right attitude. It's like, how little of this do I need to sell? I'm like, no, if you want to carry a brand for your store, your eye should be, wow, I'm going to sell a lot of this. Like, don't bring it into your store. There's a pro tip to retailers. Don't bring it into your store unless you think you can sell a lot of it. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the point? Yeah. Right? And believe me, as a salesperson, it's just like, it's not the question we want to hear. What's your minimum? How much you got?
No, but like we also like are real, like, you know, like we're not like trying to, you know, make it hard for anybody. Yeah. If you're a tiny store, but you want to, like, you know, our brand to be part of the as, you know, part of the store, then we would work with you. We wouldn't, like, you know, like if you have a massive store with, you know, bunch of locations, and you have a tiny little store, like the minimum shouldn't be the same. Yeah. And we understand that. So like we're more interested in like what you're trying to do with the brand, rather than like this is the lowest level of money you have to put up to open an account.
And those guys are usually the ones who are like, I've been a lot of my customers are buying your stuff. And you know,
I thought that maybe I could get in on that.
I mean, right there is certainly people who are like, you know, I've never heard your brand before, and you know, I've been hearing about it, and that's interesting to me. But like, you know, there's a lot of, we've been up and down again these roads a long time. We've dealt with a lot of retailers. We've certainly been in communications with some. Some people are responsive, some people aren't responsive, and like, sometimes you just know when it's a matter of, it's not that I'm interested in your products, it's that I figure I can make a little bit of money here. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's not like a matter of I'm going to do anything. It's that, well, all the retailers around me are doing great business with your stuff, so it makes sense that I try to get in on that action. And it's like,
I just want that piece of pie without working for it.
Right. It's like those guys did all the work to establish the brand in your area, your neighborhood, and you want to leech off of their success? And like, and to me, it's like, why would I turn my back on those guys? I'm like, instead of selling it, giving you an extra bit, those guys are just going to sell more, because that just means they were with us from the beginning. They were there to build it up, and I'm going to be there to support them. And I really despise the kind of guy who is originally no, or like, I'm not gonna even bother answering this guy, to, hey buddy, can I get a few crumbs thrown my way, because and by the way, I'm also, here's the thing, here's the best part, I'm gonna order the minimum amount possible. Not only am I not gonna represent the brand like the other guys do in my general area, you know, because they carry a lot of stuff, I'm just going to carry a little tiny bit, because like I don't really believe in the brand, but like I get a couple of guys here and there that ask for it, so I might as well try to get their money instead of letting them shop somewhere else. Like, that's such a stupid way to run your business. Mm-hmm. Anyways, that's some free tips out there because oftentimes I complain about, you know, bad retail customers. Now I'm going to talk about bad. That's my rant on bad retailers. That's a bad retailer.
Yeah, but that's also a tip in, running your business too. Like if you have any kind of, store or,
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of business, like this applies to a lot of business. It's just that like you have to work for the things. Like nothing comes, nothing should come to you really without working for it.
Speaking of working for it, Nick Carpenter in the chat. Nick from Schott NYC is checking in. Good to see you, my friend. Sorry I'm late. No worries. Wanted to say Happy New Year to BNR, Bahzad and Risa, and our weekly group. Love every second of the stream. Aww. Well, thank you so much, Nick. We're going to be in New York in January. Maybe you come by the shop. We'll hang out. I gotta organize some kind of get together in New York. So if you're going to be in the New York area, by next week I'll figure it out. During the live stream, I'll announce it.
End of January, 20 something.
Yeah, and we'll all get together and we'll show our pants off to each other. Check out my pants, bro. Nice pants, man. I like it. Pants friends for life. That's it. Ian Axum, any plans for the luxury jacquard fabric to return? I was devastated when it didn't come out as a jacket.
We probably will at some point. Okay. We do have the fabric. We just didn't have the time.
Right. We'll get on that.
Yeah.
We'll get on that. H.E. Pennypacker is in the house. Good to see you. He's a philanthropist and something else. I'm getting married next year and I need to get a nice suit. Do you have any suiting tips from back when you did suits? Get one that fits and don't get one that's too tight.
If it's a wedding, then you probably should get it tailor-made. It's the occasion.
You could, tailor-made, tailored to measure is good. I mean, you could certainly get something,
tailored to measure is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. That's to say that off the rack is also not bad. I personally,
if it fits, but I mean, it's a special occasion. You gotta.
Yeah, but still, like there's lots of great suits that you can buy right then and there. Check out Paul Smith. I like Paul Smith suits. They might have something nice and fancy for you, and they're not tremendously expensive either.
But I feel like these days, like
Chris
tailored.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt. Chris Griffin writes, we talked about Simon's last week. They have fantastic suits. I have to say, Simon's does have fantastic suits, and they're like their house brand suits, but they use really, really beautiful fabrics, like very expensive fabrics that you might find in like other like luxury labels, and they're very, very, very well priced. So if you're in if you're in Canada, maybe check out Simon's because they do actually have a good suiting program. Sorry. Go ahead, Risa. I interrupted you.
I do not remember what I was going.
Oh, that's the worst. All right. Anyhow, if it comes back to you,
probably not.
It's over. I ruined it. Everybody, shame on me.
No.
I'm just trying to fix the lighting a little bit here. Anyhow, hopefully it's been okay today. We're getting a little orange every now and then, so I'm just gonna try and adjust. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. Okay. Chris Griffin writes, they also have a U.S. site. Okay, I actually did not know that, but check it out. Oliver Anderson writes, I got my suit bespoke for my wedding. Definitely recommend getting it made to measure. Bespoke and made to measure are actually two different things. Bespoke is a custom pattern from top to bottom. And it's going to require a lot of fittings for you to get that garment. Tailored to measure is what you'll find at most department stores. Like if you walk, like when I worked at Holt Renfrew, we had a tailored to measure program. Harry Rosen in Canada also has a tailored to measure program. And what's going to happen is they're going to have like a sample suit in your size to try. And then you're going to go and you're going to sit down. You're going to have fabrics that you can pick from. And then you're going to have details that you can pick from. So the body of the suit, more or less, is already determined by the sizing. But what you're going to pick is, okay, well, I like this collar style. I like these buttons. I like this cuff style. Like, do you want a surgeon's cuff? Do you want a regular cuff? How many you want? 2 buttons on the front, 1 button, 3 button, anything more than that, don't even bother buying the suit. Just throw it in the garbage. 3 buttons. I remember 3-button suits were popular. Everything now is at least it's got to be 2 button.
I do not know anything about suits.
Yeah. 3-button suits are too much. I remember when it was all about 3-button suits, and then the 2-button suits were like, I'm like, nah, that's it.
So does it go higher, or
No.
does it more like?
It's all down here, but like the thing is like on a 3-button suit, you never do the top button. Mm-hmm. You only do the middle button, and you never do the bottom button. So it's just like, why do I have these extra buttons? Like on a 2-button suit, you don't do the bottom button. You just do the top button, and you're fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really understand the point of all the buttons if you're not going to use the buttons, but yeah, 3-button suit, no, it's too many buttons. But anyhow.
But I can see if you're a very like tall, long person, like you might want more than one. Like one seems like maybe it's just
you need
a balance wise.
Well, you're just doing one up, right? The bottom button is there to be open.
No, I'm saying like it might be like aesthetically more balanced if there's 1 or 2 more buttons.
Right. Yeah. Anyhow, but basically back to tailor to measure, you're picking the details, but the general pattern of the garment is already determined, right? So whereas a full bespoke suit, they're measuring you, they're making paper patterns, they're cutting things out, they're adjusting it as they're putting that garment together. It's a much more labor intensive process, and like with the tailor to measure suit, I remember. I mean, this is 15 years ago. They used to go for about $1,000 Canadian. You can get a tailor-to-measure suit. In Japan, you could certainly get that for even lower. There's a lot of like these tailor-to-measure businesses. There's a lot of tailor-to-measure businesses in general, and $1,000 should probably get you in the door. But a bespoke suit is going to be probably many thousands of dollars. But yeah, there is a little bit of a difference. And because every now and then, like even as I sold them, you'd have these guys who are like, oh yeah, I'm getting these custom tailored suits. I'm like, no, they're not custom tailored. Like they're custom, but like you're saying it like it's like this,
it's one
Savile Row,
like,
bespoke.
Like
I'm like it's
one of this.
Yeah,
and it's like
maybe technically, but it's not. It's not the same. It's not to the same degree of custom, right? It is more custom than buying it straight off the rack. You've got your tailor to measure, and then you've got full bespoke. And full bespoke, you may have got that service. I'm just saying that some people get the two confused sometimes. All right. Yao Ming's friend writes, been a while since I've been in the chat. Congrats on the JoJo launch. Well, thank you very much. I remember when you were teasing them, but couldn't even name the possible collab. Now let's talk about Street Fighter Round 3. Technically, there was a Round 3. We didn't do... We were planning on doing a final round, but we never did it. There was going to be Round 4, final round. But yeah, we never went that far. By the time Round 3 came around, I think people had a little bit of Street Fighter fatigue.
It's also that, like, we weren't repeating characters. So, like, the best characters were kind of used up in the 1 and 2 releases, I think.
Yeah.
But it would be different if we reuse characters. Like, reintroduce Ryu or Ken or, one of those, like, major popular characters.
I would still like to do another Street Fighter one day. I like that one. Oh, and just FYI, I did reach out to a contact I had at Toho. I'm still waiting on a response. And hopefully we can make Godzilla happen. Hopefully we can make that happen. So, we'll see.
We recently sold Godzilla.
We did. We went to a park in Yokosuka, and there was a giant life-sized Godzilla, which we...
Was it life-size?
I don't know how... Anyways, I
feel like he would be bigger.
Probably. I guess it depends on... Yeah. I mean, he was the size of a small building.
Yeah. Like 2-story building.
Yeah, 2 to 3-story building, maybe. 3
maybe.
might be pushing it.
Yeah.
But it was a very big Godzilla. We got to see it. It was pretty cool. It was oddly enough at the top of so like this flower garden kind of
Yeah, it's like a flower park. That
Yeah.
are built it on the like a mountain.
Side of a
basically,
mountain.
Yeah.
So you had to hike up the mountain, which was anyways, a pretty decent hike. It didn't kill us or anything, but at the top of the mountain of this, like, mind you, it's winter here, so like this, it's, you know, the flowers aren't in bloom or anything, but I can imagine in the summertime or in the springtime when all the flowers are in full bloom and it's just like beautiful colors and all that stuff and kind of like frilly, and then you just got Godzilla at the top and anyhow,
With a lot of
yeah.
like kids park toys.
Yeah.
This is the size to
Yeah.
scale. This is me.
Risa to scale.
So maybe 3 stories. So
Yeah.
could be that, but yeah. I feel like real Godzilla might be bigger than this.
Yeah, by now. There's a lot of different eras of Godzilla also, but that's still probably smaller than even the first Godzilla. But yeah, Godzilla is like the size of a skyscraper now. So
And you could slide down
his tail.
the back of his body. Like here is a slider.
Slide, yeah.
Slide.
So it was pretty cool. Anyhow, we would like to make Godzilla a thing as a collection, and the idea would be to do different eras of Godzilla. Like I could see it as like a five gene collection where we have different eras of Godzilla represented as fabrics, and then maybe you throw in a Mecha Godzilla and like a Gigan or like anyway, one of the other monsters.
You're gonna have like the classic,
Yeah.
the first Godzilla.
Yeah.
We'll probably have like an American Godzilla.
No American Godzilla,
No?
because American Godzilla is not Godzilla.
Really?
He is not in the lore of Godzilla. American Godzilla was just another monster that the Americans got wrong. They thought it was Godzilla.
I
It
see.
wasn't Godzilla because Toho was like, "Who? That ain't Godzilla."
Yeah.
So they retconned that. But there is a movie called Godzilla Final Wars where which I love because MMA fighter Don Fry is actually in it. He's like the main hero. But in this one, Godzilla is fighting all the monsters, and he's going all around the world to fight them. And there's one scene where Godzilla fights American Godzilla and like destroys him. Just like they're just like we're gonna get some revenge on this one, and it was like absolute annihilation, and it was fantastic. If you haven't seen Godzilla Final Wars, you got to check it out. Yeah, so I guess it would be maybe 3 maybe classic Godzillas,
Okay.
and then 2 like bad guys,
Bad guys.
like the other
Like,
monsters,
enemies.
Yeah, bad guys. I think
Like Mothra.
yeah, Mothra could be in there. But anyhow, we could figure it out. Ecos Myron writes, Criterion put out a Godzilla book set. I'm assuming this is box set a few years ago. Yeah, dude, I bought it on the day it came out. I had a pre-order on that thing. The only I'm gonna go show it off because it's right over there.
I think that is the most shown off like a DVD or media set that we have. He brings it out every couple months. Yeah, we haven't watched the newest Godzilla -1, because we wanted to watch it, but we're in Japan and it's a Japanese movie, so they don't have English subtitles, and that's why we couldn't go watch it. So we just have to go to Canada or go to America to watch it, I guess. That's a problem with like a lot of Japanese movies. Like I want to buy, to be fair, Japanese movies like Blu-rays in this country is very, very expensive compared to like Western ones. I don't know why. But like if we buy a Japanese movie here, like a Blu-ray of a Japanese movie here, they don't come with the subtitles.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
just like one part.
Yeah, everyone go and buy this because you should. You should own this, and it has all of the Godzilla films from 1954 to 1975, and the only annoying thing about this set is that the book is huge. That's what a Blu-ray is, and so that doesn't fit on your Blu-ray shelf. But it just got all these beautiful illustrations and stories about each one of the films. And then in the back they have all the discs, but I took all the discs out and put it in a Blu-ray case because it was annoying to take it out of here. Anyhow, beautiful artwork. I mean, I'm gonna have to. I saw.
Yeah, I mean, this is Tokyo Tower.
Yeah.
Godzilla's way. I mean,
Yeah.
it's around the same height. So yeah, that one was not too scary.
Right. Whoever did the artwork for this, I'm gonna have to contact them to see if they will do artwork for our leather patches. Because I want this on a leather patch. Look at the detail here and the grittiness. I really like these half tones that are in here as well. It looks very comic booky. It's gonna translate so well to a leather patch. It looks like those stamp kind of print style. Love it. The artwork in this set is amazing. You have to check it out. So anyways, I want to make Godzilla a thing. Go and buy this if you haven't done so already. Not sponsored. I'm just a big fan. And then here's just some of the other Godzilla Blu-rays I have. Of course, the original Godzilla. This is the same criterion. It actually comes in this set, but of course, you just have to have multiple of them. Hold on. There's even another version of this one that's good.
I think the only Godzilla movies that I've watched was the original, the 50s one, and Shin Godzilla, and Godzilla versus Mothra. I think that's the only one. The Mothra one I watched as a child, and that forever, got me the fear of moths and butterflies, actually, too. But yeah, I wasn't a Godzilla kid. I watched the old Godzilla, 50s Godzilla, as an adult, and I can appreciate it, but yeah. The Godzilla when I was growing up was not, it was a very tacky, versus, and there's, the, ones that are, I don't know. It was very, not cool Godzilla. Shin Godzilla, until Shin Godzilla came out, I did not really like that the trajectory of Godzilla universe. But yeah, this was a great movie. And I heard that the new one, the Godzilla -1, is kind of the level of this movie, which is more, more higher quality movies than things in the past.
Yeah. This is Final Wars. He fights practically everybody in this one. And I was reading on the back because they have they list all the monsters on here, and then American Godzilla they just called it Zilla. So I guess that's his official name in the Godzilla universe. But yeah, Final Wars. This one's tremendous. Just another copy I have of the original Godzilla. I really like this box set. This is a DVD set that, even though I've upgraded to the Blu-ray, I just liked this box set. It was really nice.
Did they fight Manila? I thought Manila.
No, he's in the movie. He doesn't fight them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's also, for those people who don't realize it, there's actually two versions of the original Godzilla movie. So there's the Japanese edition, and then there's the Western version, which is actually a kind of a different movie. It's
Really?
From the perspective of a American reporter reporting on the attack of.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, so it's they have different footage, so it's actually a different movie.
But it was made at the same time?
No, it was probably made later on. Using Japanese film, they're like, let's make a American version of this.
Interesting.
So they didn't subtitle it. They actually made it a different movie.
I did not know
So there's actually two versions of the original Godzilla, and then of course, these sets here are just really good. So Godzilla '84, that's him coming back after the '70s era And so there's that one. Anyhow, there's just lots of these. Go and get them because they're fun to watch. Godzilla 2000. This one's really good as well.
I don't like this face also.
Oh,
this does not look scary to me.
That looks scary. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then American Godzilla, of course. And then there's the newer American Godzilla films, which I actually like. So.
You watch that?
Yeah, this is the one. We watched that in theater, I'm pretty sure.
I do not remember this.
And if you want, because Shin Godzilla is, this one is really neat because it was done by the director of Evangelion. So if you like Evangelion, you see a lot of Evangelion in this. So it's
the aesthetics and typeface.
Yeah, so it's a great crossover. So Shin Godzilla, and then there's Godzilla -1, which just came out. Risa was talking about it. But yeah, that's my little Godzilla movie collection. Big fan. So you can expect that collection to be done right if we get it. If we get it, it's going to be for the fans, by the fans, for the fans. So there you go. All right. Hopefully there's some Godzilla fans out there. I'm presuming there are because it seemed like people were excited. Pharmacus writes, "I love how excited Bahzad is about Godzilla." Yeah, big. I'm gonna be. If we get it, it's gonna be crazy. I promise you. Ecos Myron, I do own the Zeta Ochi box set, which contains 26 movies. That's a Criterion box set. That's a very good box set to own. I really would like to own that one myself. Okay. BD writes, I'm going to get my Criterion Godzilla set right now. And he writes, -1 was great. I know, I'm very jealous that you got to see it. Okay. Ecos Myron writes, the company that released it is called Criterion. They have a bunch of Japanese movies available. They're an American company, so every release is presented for a North American buyer. Yeah, it's very much a Western, it's meant for a Western audience. But yeah, Criterion is a publishing house that kind of picks like the most influential types of films, like art house films, or really a lot of different films. But generally, they have to have some sort of influence in the world of cinema, and they put out kind of like the definitive version of that movie on, from back in the day in VHS and Laserdisc all the way up to, Blu-rays and 4Ks now. So they do have a subscription service, which I'm a proud subscriber from day one. I even have the metal card that they sent out for the day one subscribers.
I wonder someday maybe I will get us something very nice,
I
exclusive to the day oneer.
Yeah, I think that was it. Maybe in 10 years.
Card?
Yeah. I remember for Xbox Live, when it hit some kind of anniversary, they sent out like all the original Xbox Live members a gift. And my brother and I were also subscribed on day one from Xbox, and we never got that gift.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it was an America thing only or whatnot, but we were subscribed from the day one of Xbox, and my brother still has that account.
You should have made an angry.
I should have made an angry tweet.
Call.
Yeah. I'm gonna tweet. What do you call it now? Do you make an X? I'm not sure.
So. I don't know. It's stupid.
Never. I don't dabble.
But yeah, the Criterion, the things I like about those discs are the artwork. The artworks are always like original and very,
very high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Criterion. If you guys want to do something, I'm game. I am game to do a Criterion, just even a Criterion gene. Criterion merch, Naked Famous Criterion. I'm down. I'll make it. I'm a big fan of yours. Okay. Jeremy Didson, was the Kaiju Selvedge not a reference to Godzilla when you released it years ago? It was a reference to Japanese kaijus.
Not necessarily only Godzilla, but
but to monster movies of that sort in general.
Yeah, that was a great jean too.
That was a fantastic fabric.
Cordovan leather pads, very slubby.
Okay, Pedro writes, okay, after Godzilla, X-Men or Spider-Man, please. All other collabs, please sit down. Wink. Yes.
But these don't, like, it's not, like, in order of priority.
Yeah.
It's in the order of whatever
we
works.
can get, X-Men, yes. Spider-Man, yes. Spider-Man's a little difficult for me because with X-Men, there's a wide cast of characters, whereas with Spider-Man, I mean, the collection is going to look like Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage.
Or different like, Spider-Man, like Godzilla. Like,
right. Yeah, but like there's so many different Spider-Man, and I'm very much a Peter Parker is Spider-Man kind of guy. Like I don't want, like, you know, the other characters are a different generation, so they're not as appealing to me.
Right.
And like, you know, Spider-Man 2099. But it's just like the Spider-Verse. There's so many Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Right? No. There's just so many.
But yeah, like you just, I don't know if you can do so much different versions of Spider-Man.
Right.
In denim form.
Right. So, right, Jeremy Dixon writes, Craven, Doc Ock, Vulture. He has plenty of villains to choose from. Correct. He has plenty of characters to choose from. But Spider-Man is the main event. Right? Like, I can see Spider-Man and, like, Symbiote Spider-Man and, like, Venom, Carnage, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, you know, sure, right? But I want, like, with the Godzilla collection or even, like, with the JoJo collection, it was, like, the obvious answer was, when we were offered with JoJo, it was, like, you could either do all the Joes or you could pick one season and then do, like, a bunch of characters. So, like, if we were to do a bunch of characters, it would have been, like, Stardust Crusaders and then, you know, you got to do everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But clearly JoJo was going to sell the most, right? Like, clearly. Like Jotaro in that and all the other characters was probably sold fine, but the fact that we did all Joes, like, I know that we appeal to more people and we would have sold more. So, like, if you do a Spider-Man collection, like, I feel like you have to do a couple of different iterations of Spider-Man, but I can't do 5 iterations of Spider-Man. And, like, you know, bad guys are always going to be second. Like, for me, Venom, Carnage are really up there, and then after that, it's like, I think there will be some taper off. This is just my opinion. But, like, with Godzilla, it's like, it's easy to do 3 Godzillas, right? And, like, the main event remains the main event. Like, you know, and then you have, like, other high value bad guys, right? Like, that are up there. But yeah, I don't know how much Green Goblin, like, I think the taper off when you hit, like, a Green Goblin versus, you know.
The answer is that it's not, like, it doesn't seem like the perfect match like it would be with X-Men.
Yeah, because X-Men, there's a lot of characters there that are all, like, in that top tier level, right? So, like, you can really make a lot of fabrics that are going to appeal to a very wide audience, whereas, like, maybe Dr. Octopus jeans are not going to be as appealing to the customer as, you know, Wolverine, right? Anyhow, I'm not opposed to it. I'm certainly, if we got it, we'll make it the best collection it could possibly be. But, like, to me, it's not going to be like 1 Spider-Man and, like, 4 bad guys. It's got to be at least 2. The beauty of it is, like, if you do with Spider-Man, you get Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider-Man. I would do that, and then, like, Venom, Carnage. Like, for me, those guys are all, like, in the top level, and then. Yeah, and then somebody else. I'm not sure who else, but somebody else. Mary Jane. Mary Jane jeans. Aunt May. Aunt May, the hidden character, the hidden release to be Aunt May.
Hidden character.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Racer Guy 008 writes, "What would Aunt May denim look like?" Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't think anybody wants
very
that.
crinkly and lightweight, shriveled up. Pedro writes, Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom 3-piece collection would be easy peasy. I think that's the core, and then we'd have to play around with it a little bit. But yeah, I like 3 to 5 is really where like a collection like that would have to be in terms of releases. Yeah. Okay. June writes, is there any way to remove the embroidery from the collabs? Thinking of getting the jacket, but I can't stand the little embroidery part near the pocket. Yeah, just get a seam ripper and just be very careful, and you can pull those threads out without any major damage.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
And there'll be
a little bit of spot here, but like as you wear it and wash it.
You probably wouldn't notice. Just washing or like steaming over it would make it less visible.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, those are some potential collabs down the road. Fantasy booking it. Right now, the most realistic one, it's not guaranteed or anything, is Godzilla. And Godzilla. We will do our best to make that a reality.
Yeah. But now what we should be excited for is the next Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween is in the works. I have to check in with our illustrator to see how the leather patch and everything is coming along. I just didn't want to bug him over the holidays because it's that time of year, right? Like this whole week.
Yeah, nobody's working really. Like unless it's like important. I try not to.
Yeah. Even into the first week of January, it's just kind of like, okay.
Well, that's harder because,
things need to get done.
The new season starts, so it is a little harder. And also, I feel like the Western culture, it tapers off from Christmas. Christmas is important, but New Year's is not as important.
Yeah, I just hate how everything, builds up to Christmas, and then it's over, and you're like, all right.
Now we have 3 months of depressing winter.
Yeah, I just wish Christmas was... We got to move it over.
Yeah, I feel like it should be after New Year's.
There's all these people who are trying to get rid of daylight savings. Just give up with that. Let's move Christmas to February 28th.
Yeah, that's the new interpretation of the calendar.
Yeah,
from
let's let winter really sink in, and then the beauty of moving Christmas to February is that you get to have all those Christmas decorations and holiday music for so much longer.
Yeah, because after the Thanksgiving, you really don't have time to build up for Christmas.
Yeah.
And you're busy. You're end of year is busy time for businesses anyways.
It's too much, guys. Yeah. Let's move Christmas to February. Somebody get me on the phone. Who do I need to talk to? Joe Biden? Is he in charge of this?
I think maybe you start with Pope.
The Pope.
If Pope decided Christmas isn't... Is Pope the authority of Christmas? I don't know.
I think Santa is.
Well, but Santa...
I don't know. We got to figure this out, guys. Look, leave it to us. If anyone's going to figure it out, it's this combination right here.
Christians.
Yeah, we'll get it. So, officially, we're going to try and move it over, and hopefully we're successful with that. I hope you guys see it our way in terms of how long we can stretch out the Christmas spirit. I think it would be wonderful. Risa's thinking 2 steps ahead. Right. Yeah.
2 steps behind.
Call up Bergoglio. I don't know who that is. Bergoglio. Okay, we don't know who that is, but
maybe he's the authority in Christmas schedule.
Okay. Well, the collective mind of the internet is going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. That's the Pope.
Oh, that's the Pope. Yeah. Okay. We'll call him Collect. Okay. He can afford it. Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna leave it there. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna leave it there. We're gonna do 2 things. I want to just do a recap of what I want to see in raw denim next year. What are my, this 2023, if you guys remember, in 2022, I put a kibosh on buying shoes. I was just like, I can't keep buying shoes. I have too many shoes, and I never leave the house. So in 2023, I said to myself, I'm going to buy shoes. And I really haven't bought very many shoes this year at all, in fact. Nothing like, outrageous. I bought a lot of watches. But in 2024, what do I want to do more in terms of raw denim, my style? And I'm thinking I don't have any plans yet. I haven't really given this any thought, but I know I gave a lot of thought for 2022 in terms of what I didn't want to do in 2023. I was like, well, I'm gonna buy more shoes, which I didn't do. I ended up buying a lot of watches, and I don't have an idea for 2023. Although one thing I did find in 2023 that I did do a lot, that it was not intentional, was I wore the chore coat a lot. I was wearing chore coats a heck of a lot this year. I had the Blue Jay Selvedge in the summer. I've been wearing, it's not here, the Army, the herringbone HBT. That's been my go-to pretty much all this fall, winter. Dude, I don't even wear a winter jacket. I just wear that. Mind you, it doesn't get that cold here, and I layer up pretty decently. But 2024, what do I see for myself? I'm not sure yet. I mean,
that is a difficult question.
It is a difficult question.
I don't know if I fully understand the question.
In terms of my style and things that I want to achieve, I want to continue to wear my dirty fade selvage. I want to wash them as often as I can, fade them out as much as I possibly can. I'm not starting a new pair in 2024. I'm going to continue to wear the pair that I got. And I'm not personally a part of the Indigo Invitational this year, but I am going to support everybody who's getting into it. But I guess the only thing I've got going for myself right now, thinking into the new year, is continuing to wear the pair that I got.
Okay.
That's my own. That's
very
it.
Not interesting or exciting, but that's we'll see what we end the year with.
Yeah, maybe by next live stream I'll have a little bit more thought into this one. I wanted to mull over that question, and then I just remembered it at the end. But
okay, let's all think about it for a week, and when the new year hits, we can reveal our plan for the year.
Okay.
Even you guys think about it.
Yeah.
And let us know when the next week comes around, because I also have to think about that question a bit more.
Right. Shang Style 2024 Bahzad is ready to fade out a denim jacket type 2 or a standard Naked Famous type 3. That's also true. I wanted to do that last year. I took an MIJ 10 jacket, which I haven't worn as much as I really wanted to wear it. So that's a good point. That's something I should also consider. Yes, thank you for reminding me. BD writes, I'm on a no new jeans 2024 trip. BD,
wow.
Well, BD had a very prosperous 2023 with this new jeans. He's got to wear them out. That's for sure. You got to enjoy the pairs that you own. And I also want to mention that do try to enjoy the things that you own. Yeah. Somebody wrote on it was a comment about having a nice watch, and we were talking about watches, and last week we were talking about watches, and somebody made a comment about having this particular nice watch that he doesn't get to, that he finds it hard to wear because it's so nice. Doesn't want to ruin it, doesn't want to ruin the value of it. And I think to myself, I love the comment being enjoy that watch. That watch was made for you to enjoy, and if you're just gonna have it in a box, and I'm guilty of this too. So I don't enjoy all the things that I own that are nice that should be enjoyed. But I've been trying to do more of that. That was definitely in 2023. I decided just you got some nice things, wear it, enjoy it as much as you can. Because the more you enjoy the nice things that you have, the more they enrich your lives. The more you get to have and use that thing. If you have a nice watch, if you wear it every day, you get to enjoy that nice watch every single day. You don't have to just pull it out on special occasions. Every day can be a special occasion. And if you're thinking, I'm just going to save this, and, it's so valuable, I don't want to wear it because it's valuable, I'm going to ruin it. I'm like, But you're considering that item is either like you have it because you want to sell it one day, right? So you're just holding it for the next person, right?
In a good condition,
right? And then you're not gonna, presumably, I mean, I don't know how valuable it is, but like presumably it's not, you're not gonna get as much money as you paid for it when you sell it to the next guy.
Even if you do, then that's not the part of this conversation. That's an investment, or that's a side thing.
Right.
But if you bought it for yourself, then I do agree with you that you need to enjoy it more than like, I'm gonna save it for a special occasion. And it's like, but special occasion, like, unless it's a special occasion that happens, all the time,
right?
It's gonna just sit in the box and collect dust, and it's such a like shameful thing that, especially if you paid a lot of money. But even if you don't, like, it's
use it, enjoy it, and like, especially with a watch, you can always get those. You can get them overhauled. You can get them repaired. You can get them rebuffed. You can get those scratches out. Like, those things are all doable. But, sometimes you might enjoy the little bit of life that has become a part of that item. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the things that you got. If you bought a pair of jeans, and it's sitting in a pile in your closet, pull them out. Wear them. Enjoy them. Don't baby them. Like, every now and then, look, especially for newbies who maybe this is your first time spending a little bit more money, you're getting into it, right? Maybe you're getting a little bit older, you got a little bit more money, and you're starting to spend a little bit more money on your clothes. You don't have to be, look, I'm not saying, roll around in dirt, but just wear them. Yeah. Enjoy them every single day like it's nothing. Like these are like this old thing.
Especially jeans, because jeans can stand it. It's not like a satin, delicate
it's not
blouse or like, like then it's not a thing that you need to baby.
Yeah. Just enjoy those things, and every day you get to enjoy it. And isn't that a better way to live than, than you have your dirt, your throw around clothes that you wear, and those are the items that you wear all the time because they're you're the ones that you don't care about, and then the ones that you care about you only take out every now and then, right? How about you take out those those clothes every single day, and you enjoy them every day, and then every day is a special day, right? Do that. Like, I really, really believe that. Try to get the most out of everything that you have. Don't own something so that you give it to somebody else, down the line when, there's so many clothes I own that I bought that I never got to enjoy very much, and they just don't fit anymore because I outgrew them. And it's like, what a tremendous shame it is.
And there was also, like, if you, like, think, this is my special occasion clothes, and then, like, by the time that special occasion comes close, there are other, like, things that, like, I kind of want that too. So, like, you gotta use it, like, pretty often. Otherwise, like, your taste may change. There might be better things, or like things that you want more at the time later on. Like, you might not like that item as much as you do now. In a year. Yeah, absolutely. So, enjoy it. Enjoy your jeans. Enjoy your watches. Enjoy your nice things. Use them every single day, and I think you'll improve the quality of your life. Just by surrounding yourself with nice things. This is the best message you've ever had.
Yeah. Like, this was all in my brain, and there was this...
talking about it.
There was this YouTube video I found where this guy was saying this stuff. I gotta find this video because I gotta shut him out. He's such a gentleman, and I love his videos. He's so good. Hold on.
Yeah, we were watching it, with my mom, and she also really agrees with this philosophy, and ever since then, like, it was like maybe like a week ago, but like she like mentioned this like a few times in random conversations. And so it's just such a good message.
I can't find the exact video. Pharmacus joined the channel. Thank you so much for joining the family. But look up Mr. Rajiv Surendra. He's a gentleman, and he makes very, very articulate videos on just, improving quality of life things.
It's mostly like a home,
yeah,
like a life,
home life improvement kind of guy, and I wholeheartedly recommend his videos, and I think he gives great advice, and he definitely had a video on using the nice things in your life, and he talks about patina and wearing leather jackets and beating them up and like how much they look better and like all of that stuff that he talks about so perfectly blends in with our raw denim philosophy, where it becomes more beautiful over time, and that applies to almost anything in life that you own. And so enjoy the things that you have. Don't hold on to them for another person you don't even know. One day you might find yourself in the ground, because that's where most of us end up. Unfortunately, some of us have to die in this life. Personally, I'm not counting on it. I've never died before. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I've seen it happen. I've had friends and families who have passed on, and their things become the property of somebody else one day, and sometimes those things are perfectly unused and unloved. They might have been loved, but they were unused, and to me, an unused item is sometimes an unloved item. If you use it all the time, you use these mugs every day, then you get to enjoy a nice mug every day. Whatever it is, try to do that.
And also, like, if it was used by you a lot, and if you were wearing it, or like taking it out every now and then, like the people, family who may inherit that item after you go might even love it more, that the fact that you were using it.
Yeah.
Like, that just means a lot to somebody who's misses you.
If you inherit, a loved one's watch and it was used, you can tell that was they loved it. They wore it all the time, and like the fact that they wore it all the time and now you're wearing it all the time, it just carries that. Whereas if they had it in a box and they never wore it, it means they didn't really. Maybe they liked it, but they didn't like it as much as the thing that they used all the time.
They didn't show that they liked it, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I see Daniel's in the chat.
DC is in the chat. My beef with the sneaker community: shoes should be worn, not collected. I'm with you, DC. I used to buy one to rock and one to stock, and I did that with comic books also, but I stopped. I wear my shoes.
To be fair, sometimes I wish I did that, because I love the certain things, and it's like it fell apart, and it's like I no longer have this anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Sometimes you buy multiple because you're going to wear it, and you're going to wear it out, and you want to make sure you always have it. I'm with you on that. Risa and I have 4 of these mice. Do you understand this? We have 4 of these. She has one, I have one, and we have ones to travel with, because I don't want to take this away from my desk when we leave home. We've got another set that they're in our travel bag, so when we travel and we have our laptops, we've got the same mouse, because I love this mouse and I use it every day. I really am a big fan. The Logitech MX Master 3, it's a very good mouse.
It is.
But there's certain things that I just have to have, and I want to use them all the time. So sometimes, buying multiple of the same thing is definitely a thing. $7.99 writes, using my MX Master right now. There you go. Andrew Furusawa, haha, I also have an MX Master as well. We've got the MX Master game, and like these chairs also. We love these chairs, so we have 2 of these chairs. And so yes, there's things that I like, and I like liking things, and I like using things, I like recommending things that I like. Okay. Let's do it, everybody. It is snack time, and we're gonna do double snack time today. I'm gonna try and adjust this because it's a little, I don't know if that's gonna help at all. In fact, I don't think it is, and I'm exposing myself a little bit probably. All right, everybody, there you go. Saw a little bit of my stomach maybe. Okay, snack time.
All right, so caramucho is a snack that I love since I was a child. It's like a potato snack with like a slightly spicy flavors that are so delicious. Yeah. But
they look like hickory sticks usually, or like those little stick potato kind of snacks.
That started as that, and then now they have chip versions. They expanded to different versions, but we found this, which is a corn snack, like a
Cheeto.
Cheeto.
Yeah.
Style of this brand.
But you know what? This is not a Japanese version. This is actually from Vietnam.
Yeah.
So this is a Japanese snack made for the Vietnam market that was re-imported into Japan, and it had to actually be, the Japanese label had to be put on the back here. So we've got a corn snack version of a potato snack with fun.
I'm assuming that this is the similar
original flavor
as that one. But we did try previously. We did try caramucho, like the hickory style of Vietnam market.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so that was like the taste. Like, it was
they had
like
a
extra
Vietnamese
spicy
flavor, caramucho potato stick flavor.
Yeah.
So this is a corn snack version
of the Vietnamese version.
Yeah. So it's a lot of snack inception
here. But they also
here.
have this spicy curry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's do it. I'm a fan of caramucho. I'm a fan of spicy snacks.
Look at this. Hey, what's up? Another long day? Just try your yummy spicy caramucho and say he.
Or
hi.
Hi. It says hi.
I think it's he.
Oh.
Because this character always says he.
Oh, I see. It's just
spicy.
H with like 5 eyes and 2 exclamation points.
Yeah, it is he.
Okay.
And she is an old lady, like very old lady, wearing a
Hawaiian
shirt.
Yeah. All right. So let's do it. We got 2 flavors here. We're gonna try them out. Kind of smells like ramen.
It does.
Smells like instant ramen, this one.
Smells like curry, this one.
Smells like Indian curry.
Indian curry?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the regular chili.
Yeah, this smells nice. Okay, regular chili. It looks like a Cheeto. It is definitely a Cheeto design.
Inspired. Yeah, item.
Big crunch. Not very spicy. Little sweet to start. Probably from the corn snack
I like
kind of flavor.
It doesn't taste like... I wouldn't make the connection of caramucho and this snack at all, actually. But
it's more of like a Asian spice flavor. It's not like a hot Cheeto kind of taste.
It's kind of like the sweet chili heat.
A little bit like that.
Like a family of them.
Yeah. But it has a little bit more like limey kind of...
It tastes more garlic than sweet chili heat.
Garlic. That's what it is. Yeah.
I like it.
It's very good.
Sounds good.
It's a high quality snack right here. Okay. All right. Caramucho corn snack. Because it's not necessarily a product of Japan. I wonder anyways. Go check out your local Asian grocery store. If they have these, you definitely should buy a couple. We bought 2 bags of these. You should go and buy at least 2 bags for yourself.
No, another thing that I'm really happy about, finding that even like Vietnamese snacks also have like these weird English message on them.
I like it.
Japanese does that a lot, but other countries do it too.
Okay. BB writes, I love that old lady character. My Japanese Avengers so far are the Caramucho lady and the Oshiri Tenai. Tante.
The butt detective.
Oh, the butt detective. Oh, that's right. Oshiri Tante.
those are 2 strong characters.
Those are. That would make a pretty good Japanese Avengers right there. Okay.
All right, let's do the curry.
Let's do the curry. Okay. There we go. Little deformed looking guy.
Is it just me? Or is this one a little stale?
Tastes a little stale.
Right?
Yeah. This one tastes a little stale. The expiration date is February 2024. So it's still in the best before zone.
This one is not as good as this one.
Way better. The curry taste is a little mild.
I like the curry taste actually, but I don't know. It doesn't have the same amount of crunch.
No.
That kind of throws me off.
Yeah, I think we got a bad bag.
Maybe. I do like this, like the taste.
It's
spicy
okay,
powder
but I
taste.
feel like the crunch of that corn chip on the original bag is better. And if it was with this taste, it's just there's a little staleness of this chip that just really is hindering a better score.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is the taste that it's supposed to be, or if this is not an optimal quality product. It's not unedible. It's just
No, it's actually kind of delicious.
when you compare it to this,
Yeah.
this is the clear winner. This is getting a 7.8.
Whoa, that's high.
That's high. 7.8. That's a high rank. This is getting 6.5. That's a 6.5 in its current state.
Really?
Yeah.
I was. Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Not
Very close to 7
not
though.
close
I
to
do like
that.
the taste.
So there you have it, everybody. Caramucho corn snacks. If you find them, you want the hot chili edition. Not hot enough to wreck a kid. Probably a spice level that a kid would be in, like, "Ooh, I can handle this."
Right.
Right. You know, they would feel brave that they can handle this.
Yeah.
This.
Age probably like 8, 9 will be
Yeah.
above. 8, 9 would be appropriate.
So there you go. Joy Decay writes, Bahzad has to freestyle now that we have over 100 likes.
Ooh.
Yo, my name is Bahzad and I'm here to say wearing raw jeans is here today. That's it. Boom, ba-doom, boom, ching. I can't rap. I'm not a rapper.
Sometimes you have funny raps, but you're put on the spot.
I'm
right?
very put on the spot. Yeah. You gotta ask Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny's
He's a pro.
Vinny's a rapper. I'm not a rapper.
We should have those like the Office Scranton rap video level of like Tatenoko team should make that kind of thing.
That's exactly what we
to
should
be
do.
the theme song of that series.
Yeah. Austin writes, why you should wear your nicest things every day by Rajiv Surendra. That's the video.
Right.
You should find it. You should subscribe to his channel. And hopefully you find some good advice from him. He's a good advice giver. And you definitely will. I just like how he... It's all very easy to follow, easy to understand, like, you know, stuff that will really improve the quality of your life.
He's not snobby about it,
No.
but he has a very like high scale, like I don't know, high class vibe.
Yeah, you know, he talks about like bed linens and like investing in the right linen so that you can have a nice sleep, and we spend a lot of time sleeping, so get some good bed linens. Anyhow. Vinny knows what he's saying. Vinny does know what he's saying. Vinny knows what's up. You know what I'm saying? He knows what I'm saying. And you guys are all saying it. Okay. Everybody.
Right. That's a wrap.
It's a pleasure. It's a wrap. I like that. It is a wrap. 2023 is in the books. 2024 is coming in just a couple days. A lot of live streams with you all this year. It's been a pleasure. It's been a joy, and we can't wait to do it with you all over again. And next year we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth what we have in mind for 2024 for our personal style journeys and raw denim, what we want to see going forward.
Right.
So think about it. We'll talk about it. It's been great. Have a happy new year, everybody. Be safe out there, and do something nice for yourselves. Do something nice for somebody else, and enjoy the things that you have. Enjoy them to the fullest degree. And we'll see you guys next year for the greatest live stream in live stream internet history. Not just for 2023, but for all of eternity. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And we'll see you soon.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye everyone.